You have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something. Your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever.
Stay hungry.
Hungry. Foolish. Stay hungry, stay foolish.
This is the eCommerce All-Stars podcast, brought to you with heart by Nadimo.com.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining today's show with your host Brandon Moscow, of course. And today I'm excited to have Will Chen on the line. He's the founder and owner of petplay.com, which is play, which stands for Pet Lifestyle and You. And I'm excited to have him on the line because a lot of the time you talk to experts in the industry and they say, steer clear of pet-related products and that sort of thing when you're selling online. But Will's doing a really good job at of building a brand and building, selling pet-related products online and that sort of thing. So I want to have him on the show today. So thanks for joining us, Will.
Thank you for having me, Brendan. It's a pleasure to join your call.
Yeah, I think it'll be an interesting conversation. I was hoping you could start with just kind of giving a little bit of a background on yourself and what got you going in the industry and in this sector, so to speak.
Yeah, sure, of course. So I founded Play back in 2011. My wife and I couldn't find the perfect pet bed for our little pup, Momo. She was less than a year old when we rescued her. So, when we go out and find pet beds for Momo, we realize that, the mass market products are not what we're looking for. They are not washable. Sometimes the quality is really bad, and the better quality one are way overpriced. So we thought there's a chance we can do better. We ended up making our own bed for Momo, and I didn't know that is actually a start of a business idea. And we went off from there. And over the last few years, we also replicate our success in toys and now outdoor gear for dogs as well.
So was the overall concept was essentially just trying to make a better bed for your own dog. And when you say replicated that success, are you saying what was that you were doing? Are you aiming towards quality products?
Yeah. So, of course. So I think there are several key values or pillars that we believe in when it comes to pet products. We believe in taking a more holistic approach in designing the pet product. What I mean by that is there shouldn't be trade-off between all of the following: design, quality, safety, in terms of bedding, comfort, and of course, on top of that, consumers these days are also looking for eco-friendly products, socially responsible brands that's also committed to giving back. And we try to basically marry all the right elements into making the best product possible, while also keeping the price point that is affordable. So there's no a single element that we say, oh, we want to be just known for a design-oriented product. We want a more holistic approach to how we approach designing pet beds, and then later on we dip our toes into toys, and it was very well received as well.
Yeah, I think it's important that people take a holistic approach to things, because there's a lot of people out there that want to just start a company online thinking it's easy, and then they just find the cheapest products they can. They mark it up considerably, or they even maybe they don't mark it up considerably, but they just try and sell cheap products. And I find that a lot of people, it's not a way to build a brand, and it's not a way to build a company, because you live and die a lot on your recurring revenues, people buying later on, and secondary buyers or whatever you want to call them. Do you find that a lot of your business comes from repeat buyers?
Yeah, absolutely. So the number changes over time, but we see a really strong percentage of our business, well over 50%, are coming from repeat customers, people who have bought our products, whether it's beds or toys, and really were surprised or really happy that their best friends, their pets, are really enjoying the products and they love it and they come back. So like you say, Brandon, I think pet pet product is a challenging category because we believe that pets are like kids; they are part of the family. So people actually really want the best for them all the time. And when you look outside in the market, it's a category, it's a segment where the market is flooded with a lot of cheaper generic products that are competing based on price, and we get feedback all the time. It's actually hard, especially for larger size dogs. It's actually hard for pet parents to find durable toys or really good quality pet beds, and that's where I think Play come in and I think serve a little bit of like that missing segment.
Yeah, and that's one of the most important things I think to succeed in business, and especially in e-commerce, is becoming more and more of a tough category. Is just to find that little niche that people are missing. Like you said, I mean, you can buy dog beds anywhere, but finding that quality dog bed, that sort of thing, just finding that niche for yourself. I mean, you found that because you needed to fill a void that was out there for yourself, and then you found out that there's more people like that. And I always love those kinds of stories where you built something for yourself and then found out, hey, there's a demand for this. There's people out there who want something like this. So congrats to you on that.
Exactly. Yeah, thank you. I think over the years, we also continue to learn and evolve and figure out, like at the very beginning, when we want to create products that really stand out in the market, we put a lot of effort in creating designs that are a little bit more whimsical, and you may even call it outrageous. But what's interesting is actually when it comes down to forbidding, when it comes down to purchasing, consumers are actually more inclined or prefer patterns and fabrics and designs that are good fit for their home. Because if you think about it, a dog bed is basically a mini piece of furniture. So we learn a lot along the way, and we're still adapting and still trying to create the perfect product. I think that journey never ends. You just keep trying to create and innovate, and all the while keep in mind what kind of need are you trying to solve or meet, help consumer meet in their daily life. And we believe that is hopefully a good approach to how we build a brand.
What would be one of your biggest struggles so far that you've encountered?
Let me think. I think the biggest struggle definitely is actually finding the right talent. Several factors play into it. One is where we are located in. We are based in San Francisco, so in a Bay Area. I think, especially in this current economy, I think things are going well. It's hard to find talent, especially here where a lot of young kids want to work for the next Facebook or Uber. And so finding the talent, and but at the same time, I'm happy to say we have a small team. There are only 9 of us here, but besides the 2 kind of relatively new hire, the core team, I call it, like there are 5 of us that the team, they have been with us more than 5 years. So the retention shows. I think this is a company that the team is happy to work for. We are mission driven. So I think there's more than just money or the allure of a financial or technology sector that I think keep our team members very motivated and passionate.
Yeah, being where you are, I guess it would be very tough to. It's not, you may think, well, it's saturated with talent down there, but but that talent either demands a very pretty penny, or they want to be working for a specific company, and that sort of thing, or a nice young hot startup, and those types of things that can grab their attention. So
you're
very
right.
Interesting.
But, the fortunate thing is, I think there are a good number of people who are truly passionate about pets. So that is part of the intangible that I think we provide, working here play, not only is our play stock friendly, of course, but in your everyday, you are actually working with how to make people happy, when it comes to their life with their pets.
Right. And I think that's something that's, in a sense, that's one of the things that's important in that sector as well, is because people people are willing to spend money on their pets. They obviously don't want to spend money and end up with garbage, but they're willing to spend the money on their pets because they love their pets and it's an extension of their family.
Exactly.
So, that's just like you talk about retention of your employees. I think if you're able to provide the right values to those who are buying from you, you're going to retain your customers. And like you said, you have 50% of your purchases are from your existing customers, and those are important numbers to look at, I think, for everybody in e-commerce in general, because those existing clients or customers that you've had are always the cheapest ones to get back if you make them happy the first time.
Exactly. Much more cost effective when we talk about the cost of retention versus the cost of new customer acquisition. I think there are a lot of research and reports out there that have shown it. You're exactly right, Brenton.
Yeah. So no, I'm really, this has been really interesting, just to kind of hear your perspectives on how your business is modeled. And I think the fact that you have such a good retention rate with your employees also speaks well to the company itself. Because if people weren't happy to work there, that's going to also reflect in your online brand. And everything, people don't realize every little piece of the puzzle behind the scenes gets reflected online in some form or fashion. And so,
you're right.
Go on?
You're right. Oh, I was just saying that I just yesterday I read the article about I don't know if you read the founder of both Instagram as well as WhatsApp have just recently left Facebook, and one of them actually made a quote to a reporter say that nobody ever leave a job because everything is awesome. So I think kind of if you reverse it right, or if you reverse it and look at it, is people who stay with a company, and it's not just for money. Sometimes it's also for like what are they doing, what do they believe in, what are they passionate about. So I believe it's a two-way street.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting too, because that speaks exactly right. It's a two-way street. It's if people don't leave the company because it's awesome, and people don't leave. Then people don't stop buying from a company if they believe it's awesome, right? So very good, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your thoughts there. One of the last things I always end the show with is any final words of wisdom for everybody.
So let me just make sure I understand the question. Are you talking about for fellow small business owners, or are you talking about in general, like for people who love pets? Sorry, I just want to make sure I understand the question right.
Well, to be honest, it's just typically a general question. If you want to answer it from both those perspectives, then by all means, for pet owners as well as for the people out there who have small businesses or e-commerce businesses and they're looking for any kind of advice.
Okay, so I think for fellow entrepreneurs and small business owners, I can go on and talk for hours about share like insights, lesson learned. But ultimately, I think there are a couple of really key takeaway from the few years that I have spent on building and working on Play. One of which I learned is that you don't try to be everything to everyone. Especially when it comes to consumer product. It's important to define your niche and understand where you're bringing value to your specific set of target audience, and market yourself well in a more specific way. Believe in what you're doing sometimes it takes time. I was just in a conference and listening to the CEO of one of the most successful restaurant group, and he said, things of value tend to take a long time to create. And I just thought, how true, because we all want quick result these days. Everything moves so fast online and everything. But at the same time, unless you come in from a big company with a big marketing budget, word of mouth take time. Just kind of getting your organic Google ranking may take a little bit of time. So you need to put in the work, but you also need to be patient if you can afford to. I think that's one key takeaway. And and then another, I think I'll just leave with another key takeaway is to really spend some time and think about your distribution channel. Some products are able to be sold. They call these days the omni-channel model, where you can do direct to consumer online sales. You can sell through your network of retailers. You can even go to distributors. But sometimes there are channel conflicts, pricing control problems. When you sell things on Amazon, you allow third party selling on Amazon. Are you going to open the floodgate of pricing inequalities across different platforms? And so there are obviously very successful players that do DTC, like direct to consumer only. Brands that came to mind are like Everlane, Warby Parker. They don't sell through third party, and they do so well. But not everybody can do that. So just spend time thinking about what suits your goals and your needs, short term and long term, and what you can do. But definitely shouldn't take a scattergun shot approach. It should be well thought out.
Very. One of the things that I'll just add to on that is that when you mentioned initially about being, don't try and be all things to everybody. I think that applies to your distribution channels as well. I mean, you have to really figure out what is right for you, and maybe right for you is going to be all things to everybody, selling on all the different platforms, and all the different marketplaces, etc., and have distributors be selling your product. But in other cases, that might not be the way to go. So it's not taking that shotgun approach, but more of a laser tight focus on what you want to do and what's going to work for you in your business. So very, very good advice. I love that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. Hope that's helpful.
I think it should be.
Listener.
Absolutely. The only other thing, I guess, is make sure that people know how to get a hold of you. I've mentioned petplay.com, but what is the best route?
Yeah, so the best way to learn about Play is obviously our website. Brandon, you already said it is www.petplay.com. We are putting a lot of efforts on building our social media presence as well. On Instagram, our handle is petplaysf, and on Facebook, you can just search Pet Lifestyle and You, and you can find us as well. And on our website and on our social media channel, you can find both our email address as well as our office number. We have a very dedicated, passionate team here that's ready to answer any questions.
Excellent. And I just want to add one thing. You mentioned that it has your phone number on your website. I think it's absolutely critical. Just everyone out there, if you're in an e-commerce business and don't have a phone number on your site, you can expect a lower number of sales, because if people don't know how they can reach somebody by phone, then I don't personally buy from a company that doesn't have a phone number. I mean, yes, it's great to have chat on your site or any of those different means of communicating or social media, but the old school phone number, no matter, even if it's at the very bottom of your website, as long as it's on there somewhere, I think is critical.
Yep. I think so. I think there's no better kind of a vote of confidence that we have people on our end to be picking up the phone and happy to answer any question you have on the products, on things that you're not sure how to wash a bed, you're not sure if which toy is more suitable for a dog or cat. things like that. I think there's nothing that beat, like you said, Brandon, the old school way. I think sometimes it's the best because emails and chats can only go that far, but nothing beats talking to someone, just like nothing beats a face-to-face or a handshake sometimes.
Exactly. Absolutely. Perfectly said, Will.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time today. It's been a great show. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you.
You have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something. Your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever.
Stay hungry.
Hungry. Foolish. Stay hungry, stay foolish.
This is the eCommerce All-Stars podcast, brought to you with heart by Nadimo.com.